everybody. I'm just calculating the cost of my son's college experience, which is what you just saw a little bit of when he was just about to graduate. So it was roughly 34,000 times 4 years equals, yay. Okay, so that's what that bought me. And I'm joking. Well, I mean, it's true, but there's other things too. And he volunteered to share with you guys how he's dealing with the extra time that he has on his hands. He's actually in a pretty rough situation because he's chosen to help protect me, especially when I was down with my surgery, and he's staying completely quarantined by himself up in Silicon Valley. So he does have a lot of time, and this next segment's gonna talk to you about how he dealt with that.
Normally what I do when I'm bored is I program, and that's worked for me for my whole life.
I first started developing apps about a couple months ago when I took a road trip up to Santa Cruz, and I had nothing else to do. I loved it. I became addicted.
Until I started working as a programmer, and then if I did that, I'd just be programming 24/7, which would make me go crazy. So I started looking for shit to do outside of the programming sphere, and I came up with some mechanical stuff. So I went on some website and I found this laser engraver, pretty cheap, and I was like, heck, might as well try and build it. So I got it, I built it. So once I got it built and set up, I just started putting frogs on everything. So here's my phone case. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a frog on there. And then I got a couple other sheets of wood with frogs on them. And then I was like, hey, what else is this good for? And guess what? My girlfriend's birthday's coming up. So I was like, might as well try and make her a little portrait. So I got a picture of us and I dithered it, which is essentially turning portraits or pictures into dots and dashes like Morse code to represent the density. And this is what the dithered picture looks like. So once the picture is dithered, you can actually convert it to G code, which is like a CNC machine language. It's just X, Y's, and intensities. And then you gotta pump it to your CNC machine. And this is what's happening right here. Every line is an XY coordinate, and that corresponds to movement and laser burst. I guess each laser burst burns the wood, or whatever material you want to. It can be a phone case, whatever. And these laser bursts kind of turn into a picture when put together. So if you look here, it's a rainy day in Palo Alto, so I can't be burning outside. So I got all my garbage bags and I set them up to create a little cubby for my laser cutter. The reason I did this is because I'm pretty sure whatever this thing emits is not good for me to breathe in. And I don't know scientifically if that's true. It just smells like it's toxic. So I made this little fan chamber. And then over there is just for the water, because I need my garage half open and some stuff is dripping in. Another thing that this is good for is this job lasts for, let's see, it looks like it says 7 hours and 40 minutes. So that means that I've got to deal with this for 7 hours and 40 minutes. And if I do that, it means I got to wear my green light glasses for 7 hours and 40 minutes. And this is super annoying because what happens is it blocks all red light. So everything just kind of looks lame because red's a nice color. And then when you take them off, because your eyes have adjusted, everything looks red. And that, depending on how long you wear them, that's how long it looks after you take them off. So if I wear this shit for 7 hours, I'm gonna be seeing just straight red, and I don't want to see that. Yeah. So we're about an hour in on the burn, looking pretty good. So we're at 2 hours right now. So So we're about 3 hours in. So we're 4 hours. So we're at hour 6. Hi everybody. I just thought I'd give you an update on my laser printer and my quarantine status. So I've been using it to entertain myself, as you've seen in the previous videos. I'm going to show you some of the products I've made. So we have the original one, which is a picture of me and my girlfriend. I haven't given it to her yet because we've been in quarantine, you know, respectable. But yeah, here it is. And this is with a lacquered it and varnished it. And yeah, this is the picture. And then the other thing I've spent my time making is this giant lion, laser printed lion, which is because I didn't have the print area that was required to print out the lion, I needed to tile it. So I broke up the lion into 6 quadrants and burned in each of the quadrants, and then moved the printer to the next, I guess quadrants is 4, maybe septants or something. I don't know, graph theory. But anyway, there's a couple funny things. When I was varnishing this, a bug landed on my lion and got stuck in the varnish, and you can see right there, that is Tom the fly. Yeah, he's an asshole, but he's gonna stick with me and my lion, and that is gonna be hung above my bed right there in front of that poster. Yeah, and then another thing I made, this was like my first real one, was the froggy. Classic frog. Yeah, and so I've just been using this to kill time and have some fun, do some engineering. And what I'm going to probably do with it next is burn the bottom of the skateboard and maybe make it electric. We'll see. We'll see how long this goes. Maybe make it rocket powered. This lasts long enough. All right. Enjoy the rest of my dad's class.
Hello, Buffet. So I'm going to go have a little fun in Discord. Just see if we can start getting used to it. So if you click over on this guy, that's going to get you home, as it says, and you'll see a list of your friends and the people that you've direct messaged most recently. So, and then also across here, you can click and see, if you click online, then all of these people are awake, and it is 8:14. So this number will grow, and you can see here, we'll just have fun with this. I'll click on William. Let's see if he's awake. And we can play a little bit around. When you look at the icon, like for me, so he's, yay. So I encourage everybody to go on Discord and go find a buddy. Think about the class when we used to be in session, and like, who would you sit with on when we would do group work, usually on Thursdays, and go try and find some of those people and direct message them and just say hi. And that's part of the reason that we're doing this, is to get some social connection, which is a lot harder when you're remote. I want to share with you some fellow student work. This is from Tade in second period, who also is very fluent in Discord and has been helping out a lot. So, and his username there is TODD. So if you see him around and you're stuck, go ask him for help, because he's very, very patient and he knows his stuff. So anyway, this was after episode 11, I believe. And this was his submission. And I just want to share it with you because I was really impressed. Don't forget when you run this that you got to press the windowed button here, otherwise it'll be hard to stop. But this was his latest. So he did all of this animation, and this incidentally has some code in it. So he was, I'm not sure why he did that. Maybe he couldn't figure out how to do the thing horizontally without code, which I can see why. I would have had a similar thing. Incidentally, a couple things. How do you make something go horizontally with only gravity? And the answer was, and I'll say it verbally, although it'd be better if I had Unity open. You can rotate the camera. So yes, you need a gravity component, but if you click on the camera in the hierarchy and you go look at the transform, you can rotate the camera as much as you want. And so if you rotate the camera 90 degrees and you have a gravity component, the gravity is going to pull you horizontally. And something else Tade did is he put a button in here, which isn't something we do till the very end. And so if I click on this, it ends. And that is way cool. I was very impressed by that. Nice job, Tade. So Buffet, we are going to do our last step of filling our tool bag with a bunch of tools that we can use to make groovy characters in our game and stuff. And I believe the next episode after this, we're going to start writing code. So today we're going to talk about making simple animations, and it's pretty involved. So I've tried to break it down simply, but I can see where this might be a challenge. Like if you take one step the wrong way, then it gets all fumbled. And this is one of the reasons we have Discord. So make sure that if you do get frustrated, get on Discord, go look under the right-hand panel and find a Unity helper, or find a buddy, somebody that you remember from class, and start DMing them and try to see if you can figure this out. So first thing we're going to do is go into the Unity curriculum, and we're going to go inside of this, and we're going to go down to number 8, simple animation. And the PowerPoints here aren't bad. Okay, so I'm not going to talk to them now, but this is actually an old one because I made PDFs in here too, so FYI. But what I want you to focus on is there's a file here called Sprite Sheet Final, and I want that. So I'm going to left click it and copy it. Don't drag it, copy it. And we are going to go navigate to our first folder, and we're going to go into assets. And this is something that you should be familiar with. And then we're going to paste that into here. Okay, paste. And then we've got our file right there. Beautiful. Okay, and so that step should not be too frightening at this point, very normal. So now we're going to open up one of our scenes, and I'm going to pick my parent-child one because I did that last time, and I remember I simplified it. And so we need something simple this time. So you should know what your scenes are. Open up one of them, double click on it, and this should be old hat. So I'm going to clean house a little bit here because I really want to focus on the animation. So this is some stuff left over from last time. So I'm going to go over to let's put this inside our field. Yeah. So I'm just going to delete Neato. Poor Neato. Boom. Okay. So now I dropped this sprite sheet, and what the sprite sheet is a series. I should actually show you that, shouldn't I? Yeah. let's go back and let's open this guy up in Windows. Oh, nope. Let's open this up with Paint. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so if you remember back to little kid days, and I made a flip-a-rama where you had like a, I need gestures here. You had like stick, oh, hold on. The beauty of a taped performance, you can pause and go get some. So remember, like this is just Post-it notes, and you draw a picture on one, and then you go to the next one and you draw a picture, but it's moved a little bit from the first one, and then you go do that on the next one and the next one, and then when you're all done, you go and go like that, and it looks like it's moving. That's what we're doing. Okay, so and what I'm starting with is one that I made, so you can see how to use one, and then if you want to, you can go make your own. I mean, you will eventually. So I drew 3 stick figures here. You can see my Picassos, and they're all, it's supposed to be a guy walking, okay, where his arms are moving, his body is constant. Here's his body. That's the same in each one, but the arms are swinging and the legs are moving. Okay, so that's called a sprite sheet, and we might go look at one if I remember to do that. So I loaded the sprite sheet in, and we're gonna, when we're done, we're gonna have this stick figure that looks like they're walking. So first step is, it's right down here. You click on this, and once you do that, over in the inspector, you get to see the details on this thing, okay, on this sprite sheet. And the first step that you're going to do is you're going to go over here, and where it says sprite mode, it says single. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Nope. This says single over here, and we're going to click on this guy over here, and we're going to change it to multiple. And that just means I care about those 3 separate pictures, not just one. Now, in order to make that happen, and this is a little tricky, I'm moving the slide bar here. There's an apply button. So you got to hit the apply. Okay, so that's the first step. Next step is we have to edit this. And there's a sprite editor. And there it is. See the word sprite editor right there. We're going to click on that. And what that does is that opens up this other window over here, which allows us to edit this sprite sheet. So behind here is the thing I drew, my masterpiece. Now, once you're in here, you're going to, this is tricky now. You got to hit the slice button up here, and that's going to open up another window, and you got to hit slice here. So you hit slice twice, and then you hit the button apply. Okay, and what we just did is take our sprite sheet and make it into 3 separate pictures, basically, and Unity understands that. So now we're done with that, and now down here there's a new thing. It's got a little triangle here, and if I click that triangle, it basically shows you that this is what was just generated from all of that. Now if I take this and drag this over to my hierarchy, you'll now see a single person in the middle of the screen. And if I hit play, boom, you will see nothing. Great. Thanks, Mr. Neat. That was wonderful. Why didn't he go running? Oops. Maybe I just grabbed the first guy. Whoops. Yeah, I probably did. Let's do that. Let's get rid of that guy. Delete. Now hit play. Nope. Okay. And and let's bring this guy into here. Let's do that. Oh, maybe that's what I did wrong. Yeah. Okay. Drag the sprite sheet into the scene. And then this window opens and it says we have to give this a name. So let's call this test. And we'll say save. Oh yeah, that's the step I screwed up. And then we hit play. And there we go. Yay. So that is a sprite sheet. Stop. And then I can, now this guy here, I can call, let's rename it. Oh yeah, actually I like that. Rename runner. Okay, and then if I hit play, you can see him even better. Oh no, you can't. That's the same. That's just a magnify. Let me go over here and let's change the scale of this to be twice as big. Yeah. And then let's go do that. Yay. Okay, so there is an animation. So now we're going to take a step deeper into sprites. That was one I made. Now we're going to go online. There's lots of resources. You can pay money for sprites. You can imagine the detail to which people do drawings, and then they do the fliporama, and then they want to be paid because they did all that work. But there's a lot of free stuff. And so I'm going to show you how to get some free sprites, and then you can draw your own if you want for the lab for this segment, or you can get from the internet, your choice. So here's a trip on the internet, and what there's a lot of things you can Google. There's a thing called, what is it called? Texture Packer. Texture. And I just got this from Googling free sprites. So you can do that first if you want and see what's available. But there's this thing called Texture Packer online. It's free, emphasize free. And you can see in this guy, we've got 4 drawings already made. They're already with a Lunapic background. It's clear because that's an issue here. You draw your picture, you need to get rid of the background, and then you put them together with the other pictures, and then you might have to get rid of the background again, and that gets to be pretty tedious unless you're really into it. So anyway, there's a download button here. I'm trying to stay within the window so you can see what I'm doing. And we want a PNG ultimately. So this was already made by somebody else, and I'm going to say download PNG. And so that's going to give me this guy down here, and I'm going to put that over there. And I'm going to write, I don't know who this guy is, but we'll just say kid. All right, so that's the name of my sprite sheet. And I'm going to get rid of that. And here is, that's the thing I just made. And then I've already got my scene open. So actually I need to be able to drag this in. So my daughter's in the background making lots of noise. Just a sec, I'm going to go shut the door. Okay, got rid of her. So where did I put that kid sprite thing? Where did, oh, there it is. PNG. Sorry. All right, here's the sprite sheet. Somebody else made it. I'm going to open up Unity, and I'm going to drag this new sprite sheet into my asset folder. Boom. Okay, so there it is. And now I'm going to run through the same steps I did before. So that guy right down there is my sequence of 4 independent images. Somebody else drew them. Okay, so thank you, somebody else. And now I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to run through the steps again. So the first thing I do is I'm going to click the mode of the sprite. Rather than looking at this as a single picture, I'm going to look at it as multiple. And don't forget, you have to scroll down here to hit the apply button. Okay, and then I'm going to hit the sprite editor button, and that's going to throw this thing into the editor, and I'm going to slice it up. So I'm going to hit slice, and then I'm going to hit slice again, and then I'm going to hit apply. And that breaks that one picture into 4 separate ones. And now I'm done with that step, and now it's ready to become an animation. So I'm going to drag that into my scene, and then it's going to ask me to save it. So I'm going to save it as a kid runner. And that's some character probably, but I don't know who it is, so I'll just call him kid runner. All right, and then, whoops, where did that come from? I must have drug that in here. Delete by whoever you are. Okay, and then now when I hit play, I should see 2 people running, the big guy and the little guy. Okay, and now I'm going to make the kid guy, I don't know why I called that kid runner. I'm going to rename this. I want this to be called runner. Rename kid runner. There we go. And now I'm there, and I'm going to make this guy bigger. I'm going to make him 5 times bigger. There's he's 5 times fatter. Now he's 5 times taller, and he's 5 times coming out of this. Okay, so now when I hit the play button, we're going to be in a running race. Yahoo! Okay, now, so hopefully you appreciate, we didn't do a lot of work here, and well, now we got some animations going on. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this guy, and now I got 2 runners. Oh, heck, 3 runners. Place is getting crowded. And I'm going to try, although I may be crazy, to spread these guys out just a little bit. So there's my field of view. I can pan this a little so I can get this. Yeah. How about them apples? Okay. So I'm going to move this guy over here next to Fred. I'm going to move this guy over here. They're all running on the same road, let's say. And then I'm going to have this guy be here. And then my original guy looks like he's coming in third right now. Move it up a little. Okay, and now we're going to hit play. Yeah. And we have animations galore. Okay, so in this lab, you're going to animate something. And this is where you should be honing in on, if you haven't already, on something you care about. Like if you're an athlete, make it a sport. If you are in robots, maybe somehow you get 589 in here or whatever. But think about what you like to do and then make something animated. There's different ways of doing it. You can make your own sprite sheet, as I talked about before. Let me pause this guy. And so this was the thing I made. Now, there's a bunch of steps. You need to make each, if you make your own, you have to make each picture by itself and save it as a PNG. And then you have to get rid of its background. And then you have to times it by however many you want to make. And then you have to load those three into Power. I loaded into PowerPoint, and I put, this is another one I was playing with, where you put each image in and you have to move them over, spread them out. I stopped doing this when I was getting frustrated. And then save that slide as a PNG, and then load that into Unity. And then you'll be where you were for the other ones. Or you could go online like we just did to that texture packer online and explore different ways. But make sure when you do an online thing that you're getting a image that is separate for each frame needs to be a separate image. And this thing does a nice job of taking them separately and then downloading as a single file. And then the example that's in the folder for the lab, I put in there a sample silly thing. Whoops. Sorry, my bad. In the animation, number 8. So I made Rocket Man here. Go Elton. So here we're going to hit the little window and we're going to hit play and see whatever I did. So I'm going off into space with an animated flame. Bye-bye.
Hi everybody, so here's your AP pep talk. So the way I look at the quiz is, the big quiz is there's really two aspects. There's the content and then there's the taking of the test. And in the past, well, let's not worry about the past. This year we got to worry about those two things. I'm very confident with you guys. Shoot, oh, my camera's slipping. On the content. You've got that. We've been practicing this forever. You've had many practice problems. So you understand what an array is, you know what a method is, you know what a class is. That's a peacock. It's mating season, by the way. But the taking of the test, that's new. And that's this process of having an e-ticket and checking in 30 minutes early. And that part of it is something that, we have to be on our toes for. And I'm going to try to help you out with that. Make sure you contact me if you have any questions. That's what I like Discord for, is I'm pretty much available, or I'll try to be available right up to showtime. I want to touch bases with each of you sometime between the 13th and the 15th. So you should have gotten an e-ticket on the 13th, and I just want to know that you got it and that you're ready, and if you have any questions. So I'll voice message you or do something in there to get a hold of each of you and get a
thumbs up that you're on your way. So the philosophy that I have when I teach the course any year is work hard right up to close to the time of the test, but then taper. And I make an analogy to a marathon runner coach where, you know, the night before a marathon, you don't run 26 miles. You need to sleep, and you need to have a good meal, and you need to have your head clear, and so you're ready for the big race. And your test is the same way. So that's the way I'm teaching you. That's why I'm giving this video to you now. So you'll probably watch this late this week, okay? And by the way, Mother's Day is next Sunday. Don't forget that. So that's going to be more than a week before the real quiz. And you might be saying, what are you doing that for? Well, there's two reasons. One is the taper argument. Like, you know how to do this stuff, so this is not a cramming thing. It's in your blood. So there's no reason to, the night before, stay up late doing practice problems. The other reason is you have other AP tests, or some of you do, and I respect that. So, you know, work on that. That gurgly noise is my vacuum cleaner in the pool, if you can hear that. All these noises. So that's why I'm doing this, giving you a pep talk now. If you don't abide by that philosophy, let's say you do like to cram the night before, then you should. And what if you haven't done all the homework problems that I gave you to practice with? You should. You know, so what you should do is you should know by now what it takes to get you mentally prepared for your big academic events. And whatever that is, you should do it. Now, and I lead you in a certain way, like this taper method that I'm telling you. But if that doesn't fit with you, you should do what works for you. Food. Your test is at 1 p.m., so I would have a good lunch. You know, eat a good lunch. Make sure that your dad's not playing Fortnite or Overwatch on the internet during your quiz time. Tell him it's just 45 minutes, and chill, and you'll be done, and then you can go back and resume playing. Yeah, and if, like I said, if there's any reason that you're worried, anything you want to need, you know, if I can help you in any way, please DM me, and I will be on it. Now, I want to give you a few detailed pointers on free response questions, and I did this actually when you had your first one. So, a little symmetry, I'm going to do it again for your last. But, oh my goodness, good luck everybody. I'm cheering for you. You are over-prepared. Just go in calm and hit a home run.
Okay, as promised, I want to talk to you a little bit about details on taking the quiz. Okay, so these are just some coaching tips. And I actually, as I mentioned, I've done this before. I have a set of notes that I do. Here they are. You can hit pause if you want, and then you can just read them later if you want, but I'm going to read them to you now. Okay, so when you write a method during the quiz, make sure that you notice the return values. Is it a void method? Does it return a string? Make sure you notice that, and then write it in the right place, and write the word return somewhere at the bottom, and make sure that you don't forget to do that. At the end, after you've finished writing the method or whatever it is you're supposed to do, test it. Test the method and try to be like a compiler. So if it takes in a couple integers, put in some numbers and then work through your code with those numbers and then see what the value is that comes out if it calculates something, and make sure it does. You will find so many errors, if there are any, by doing that. When you start the quiz, read the whole question. Okay, it's a pain to do that. I don't like to do it, but it is the most expeditious way to get your problem solved, because as you're reading through it, you can see, oh, I'm going to write this method in part A, and then there it is used in part B. And now I see why I need it in part B, because I need to know how to count those things. And this counts those for you. So try to read the whole thing, and it'll help you see the whole picture. Don't be afraid of a lot of words. Okay, I don't like to read. Read. Just put your head down and read. Make sure you understand whether you're writing a method for a client file or you're writing a method for a class, or maybe you're doing both. And that helps you figure out where the dots are. You know, like make sure the object matches the method. These are all things I've told you over and over. One of the biggest things, my biggest fear for you guys is that you're going to do question 1, the 25-minute one, and you're not going to finish. And then you're going to be bummed that you're not finished, and you're going to drag that bumness into the second question. So remember that they've told us that you can earn a 5 on the test and not finish the questions. So try and remember that if it's an issue at rounding the curve at the end of the first question, so that you don't bring yourself down on the second one. The other thing I wanted you to tell you, which actually isn't as relevant as it used to do. Like I was reminded that the notes that I showed you earlier, these things, it's actually silly, shows how long I was doing this. They're actually in C++, it says C++ on this. So I made these notes probably before you were born, because C++ was the testing language the first 3 years I was teaching, which was 98, 99, etc. So who cares? But this here is 2 free response solutions from 2 different students to the same question. And so the message is obvious. But again, this only is relevant if you're writing your answers. So if you are, be neat. And the rest of you, type neat. That's where it's not really an issue. I guess we're evolving. I love it. All right, so good luck, everybody. I'm cheering for you. Okay, my AP friends, here's your last quiz practice question. This is going to be like the second one that you'll have, the shorter of the 2. And so this is page 1 of 2. And you know the drill. Pretend it's the real thing. Time yourself. Submit to Edmodo. Boom. 15 minutes to do the question. 5 minutes to submit. And you should time yourself for the whole thing. So that's page 1. Remember, you can hit pause. And here's page 2. And by now you should be comfortable with whatever method you're going to use to actually do the real quiz. You should have practiced with the real simulator. I sent you the website where you could practice that. And this should just be polishing the cannonball, as they say. You're over prepared. Okay, so when the video continues, it's going to be the answer. Spoiler alert. Okay, and here's the solutions. So this is the answer to part A. And here is the answer to part B. So that's our last practice quiz question. And again, this was of type, the second one, methods and control structures, and we'll be given 15 minutes to do a problem like this. Good luck, everybody.
Where am I?
Surprise, surprise. It's very lonely in here. Somebody vacuumed the carpet. OMG, Mr. Neat likes that. Hey, the reason I'm here is to remind you guys how we used to check out whose birthday it is. It says it's Joe Smith's and Daniel Stuzzi. Cool. So, unfortunately, we can't see this now. Hi, Bart. So how do we fix that? Take it away, Elliot.
Hey guys, it's Elliot Lin from Dr. Neat's Period 2 class. I just want to show you something I've been working on since we last saw each other. So I'm pretty sure most of you guys remember Dr. Neat's little happy birthday monitor that showed you everyone's birthday, and if it was your birthday, then Dr. Neat would come over and give you a piece of candy. Now we can't exactly do that now because we're all separated. So basically what Dr. Neat asked me to do was make a B-Day bot that we can see even though we're separated. So what I decided to do was make a Discord bot. Now what is Discord? Discord is a service that can help us communicate. Now, a Discord bot is a program able to do Discord functions without anyone having to do anything, really. Maybe just type a few commands, but that's about it. So let me take you over to my test server. This is where I've been testing my B-Day bot. Now, there are two commands for my B-Day bot. There's B-Day and upcoming. So what B-Day does, it shows you whose birthday it is today. Now, sadly, today's not anyone's birthday, but that's okay, that's okay. Now, upcoming shows you the next 5 birthdays. So we can see that Arna John's birthday is coming up. Now, I have a little showcase database for you guys. Now it has my name and it says my birthday is today. Now my birthday is not actually today, it's just to show you guys what happens if it is someone's birthday today. Now, if it's someone's birthday today, let me just run this program really quick. Now, if it's someone's birthday today, it says happy birthday to the person in the text channel, right here. Next, it will put them in a little roll up here. I'll show up in a few seconds. There we go, perfect. See, it says happy birthday, puts me in a little roll. It's something a little jazzy. Finally, it sends you a personal message saying from Dr. Neat and the entire computer science class, happy birthday. Now, this birthday bot's a work in progress right now, and we're hoping to get it live on the server soon. I've just been working out a few problems with Dr. Neat. Alright, thank you for listening, and handing it back over to Dr. Neat.
Hey everybody, sports report on location from my classroom. You can see, I don't know what the numbers are, but how many masks Mrs. Carlson's made and how many points we've earned with folding at home. And incidentally, first off, a couple things. My phone is out of batteries, so I am tethered to this power strip. Pretty ghetto, just like normal. Look at the server, 91 degrees. It is cranking, and you can see H-top, that's showing each of the cores and how many percent they're used, and you can see over on the right there, they all say, almost all of them say 100. So this thing is cranking on folding at home. Another question I have, as long as we're here, is what do we do about that? That'll mean something to somebody. And then the other thing I gotta worry about, ideas welcome, is what do I do about this when it's somebody's birthday? How do I get them a candy bar? Any ideas? Give me a comment. Mother Earth. Oh, nice segue. So, around about the time this video is going to be posted, it's going to be close to Mother's Day. So, I encourage you to do something for your mom. How do you deal with the quarantine? How about a digital gift?
if you take the Tade example I showed in buffet, you could do what he did, except have a bouquet of flowers flying across the room. You know enough in Unity to do that. And a digital transmission is germ-free. Anyway, don't forget Mom. So what else do I want to say? Oh, a thank you to my son. So I teased him about paying 100 and whatever it was thousand for a hacky sack game, but the truth is, I'm really proud of him. He's accomplished a lot. And one thing, the reason I did this or shared this with you is he's a very self-aware person. And he figured out when he was quarantined, didn't visit us, didn't visit his girlfriend, he's still in that mode, it's going on 2 months. He knew that he had to do something to be distracted, take up his time. And that's where that whole thing came from. So if you feel that, or you've done that, if there's something you've done during this time, let me know if you're willing to share it, because I'd love to stick it in to a vlog. And the last message is we're about ready to go into AP week. So I really respect that whole thing. So the next few vlog episodes aren't going to have anything that require any group to submit things to Edmodo. So there'll be entertainment, but there won't be lessons. If you feel the need, if you don't have any APs and you're really digging the Unity thing and you want to keep trucking on that, that's great. Just DM me and I will give you private lessons in that. So good luck, everybody, on if you do have APs.
I want to wrap up by making a few comments about Elliot's work. Elliot was one of a few super APs when we were back in session at school who successfully implemented the B-Day program so that we could see whose birthday it was on the screen in the front of the room. However, he was the only person, he's done pioneering work at taking that same app and interfacing it to Discord. And so it's very impressive to me that he has the courage to take on a problem like this, and he's done it with vigor and a lot of zest, and I'm really proud of him. Excellent job, Elliot. You are our vlog hero.